As a busy mom and dairy farmer, I'm always looking for ways to support my family's health as well as my own, and I absolutely love Wonder Cow Colostrum. It's packed with essential nutrients, great for supporting gut health, boosts immunity, and promotes overall wellness. Whether it's for me, my kids, or anyone looking to stay strong and healthy, Wonder Cow is my go-to daily supplement. I've been taking it for a year now, and it is irreplaceable in my daily routine. If you want to experience the amazing benefits of colostrum too, you can use my special code DairyGalVal at checkout for a discount. Give Wonder Cow a try, and you will definitely feel the difference. Hi, welcome to the Dairy Hour podcast, where rural charm meets personal growth. Join us as we milk every moment for wisdom, self-improvement, and mental wellness. I'm your host, Val Lavigne, a rural dairy farming mom with a passion for filling hearts while never forgetting to fill my own cup. Get ready for insightful conversations, empowering tips, and a splash of fun and laughs, of course. Let's cultivate growth, nourish our minds, and embrace the journey together. This is the Dairy Hour podcast, where every episode is a breath of fresh air and the inspiration you need to be your best self.
Obviously, because what is your handle on Instagram again? So I can tag.
I'm Dairy Galval.
Okay, I thought, there we go. That way I can tag you. Okay.
You're good.
I can't find my phone. All right.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the Dairy Hour podcast. I'm your host, Val Lavigne, and I am joined today by the one and only Brandi Buzzard, and you may already follow her on Instagram or social media as she is very prevalent there and out there doing big things. Sorry, I didn't mean to steal all your thunder, but
no,
Brandi, how are you today?
I'm good. You're not stealing my thunder at all. It's just awkward. So I always joke when I don't always do it, but I forget to update my bio when I do public speaking events until they're announcing it. And I always think to myself, I hate my bio and I really need to shorten it, but I'm the one that needs to do it. I don't think about it till I'm on stage. And so it's just just cycle. So it just feels awkward, but you don't have to apologize for anything.
You're good. Give us a quick rundown, Brandi, your 30 to 45 second, who are you and what do you currently do?
Okay, well, my name is Brandi Buzzard. I am a rancher in Southeast Kansas. My husband and I own High Bar Cattle Company, which is a purebred gelbvieh and balancer operation. We also do run stockers and sell freezer beef with our two daughters, Oakley and Quincy, who are 8 and a little over 3.5, or not quite 3.5. I'm self-employed as a communications freelancer, independent contractor. So I do a lot of public speaking. I have a video series on Acres TV where I document ranch life behind the scenes, but also provide important issues commentary about things that are affecting agriculture and farmers and ranchers. This is not my favorite word, but I partner with brands to create brand awareness around products that are near and dear to my heart. So things that we're already using and work on our ranch. And then I rodeo as much as I can. I guess cowgirl would be the proper term for that. Yeah, that's me in a nutshell. I had a career in corporate agriculture for about 13 years and closed that chapter just a few months ago to pursue being full-time self-employed, and also so I could spend more time with my kids. I wanted to be able to go to every single day, recital and softball practice and field day and spring break, and not have to worry about accumulating time off for that or accumulating enough time off to go to rodeos also. And so been doing this for a while and absolutely love it.
Awesome. So just because this is a particular point of interest of mine, it is currently NFR week or NFR 10 days. NFR are you as tired as I am staying up to watch it every night?
So I actually haven't watched it every single night. I watched bits of it. Well, last night I was at the Chiefs game, so I couldn't watch it.
Oh, priorities. Yep.
Yes. We are season ticket holders of the Chiefs, so I can watch the Cowboy Channel replay I'll probably do that today, actually. I can watch the replay the next day. But yes, it is NFR week. It's the best 10 days of December. But we only have one TV in our house. So my husband and I, we go back and forth. I have a lot of bareback riding friends. I have friends who are at the NFR, who are competing in the bareback riding in the NFR. but I usually am like, I just want to watch the steer wrestling through the barrel racing. So that's 5 events. Can we just watch those? Because I know, and rodeo with so many people, I'm on the pro rodeo circuit. I'm a WPRA member, breakaway roper. And so I know and rodeo with a lot of these people. And so I want to watch that. So we kind of watch the middle chunks. And then, if they're doing like one of the acts or something like that on the arena feed, we watch whatever else for a little bit. But basically, we need another TV, is what by next December, we need to have another TV in the house.
Life lessons. We need another TV because the NFR is on.
That's
Like,
right.
that's
Exactly.
it.
I don't know what's going on because the past years he has totally not minded watching the NFR, but I don't know I don't know what's going on. His leg is broken, and I'm just, if he doesn't want to watch the NFR, he's already having a hard enough time with a broken leg that we can watch what he wants to watch. So
You're nicer than I would be. I'd be like, I don't care if your leg's broken. The NFR only comes once a year and we're watching it.
no, but I can rewatch it on the Cowboy. It's not like when I was
Yeah.
growing up when it was on ESPN and on ESPN at 10 p.m. and that's when it started. And then you only watch it then, and like you might get lucky and it might replay later in the year. Like, thank you,
Yeah.
Cowboy Channel, for having replay. I can watch it at a later time. Like it's okay.
Yep. Yeah. No, my being on the East Coast, the time changes enough. Usually my husband is like fast asleep by the time the NFR, and he like says he's not that into it, but he does get into it when it's on. But
Yeah.
I'm like obviously way more next level than he is. But
Yeah.
my go-tos, like if I'm tired and don't want to sit there through the whole thing, I'm a steer wrestling, calf roping, barrel racing, done.
Yeah, I want to watch, and I like the saddle bronc riding. That is the classic event
Oh yeah.
of rodeo for sure. But if I compromising, if I have to be like, okay, let's watch the bulldog and then the team rope, and we'll take a break for the
Yeah.
bronc riding, and then can we go back and watch the tie down and the barrel racing? Like that's the ultimate compromise, and so that's what
Yeah.
we do. But we're getting into like the last few rounds. So this weekend, I don't know when this is going to air, but the right now we're talking on a Monday. And
Yeah.
5 days later, we're going to be a junior rodeo for my daughter. And so the night of the final round, we're going to be a junior rodeo. I'm trying to figure out like where can we go
Oh no.
to watch they might have a watch party actually
I was gonna say they should
at the
definitely
junior
have one.
rodeo. It just depends on how late it goes. So we might get to watch it, later. So we'll figure it out.
Yes. Priorities. You gotta have those. So who are we cheering for?
Oh, well, I don't know. Like, I cheer for specific people. So,
That's
like,
fine.
so I actually don't have a bulldogger that I'm specifically cheering for. I just really like watching it.
Yep.
Team roping. I'm a big fan. I love Derek Begay and
Mhm.
I just love like his authenticity and his
Yep.
lifestyle and the persona that he is, and he's not extra frills, frou-frou. He's just very real. And so I really like Derek Begay. Cheer for him. Big Coleman Proctor fan, college rodeoed with him, so I was cheering for him. In the barrel racing, really like Emily Beisel.
Mhm.
So she's a prairie circuit barrel racer also, I think. I think maybe she might be on the Texas circuit actually, but no, I know her from rodeoing in college and stuff like that. And then also who doesn't love Haley Kinsel and sister. And then
Yeah.
I have been a Lisa Lockhart fan since I was,
Lisa is my hero.
yeah, I mean since I was in like middle school, elementary school or something like that. Um,
Yes.
I remember the last few times that she ran Louis, like tearing up, because you hear
Yep.
Louis come on.
100%.
And so those are probably my favorite three. It would be Louis and Haley and Emily. And in the tie down, oh, who do I really like in the tie down? My favorite tie down roper is Corey Solomon, and unfortunately he didn't make the NFR this
Yeah, I
year.
noticed that he didn't make it this year.
Yeah, he's such a good guy. I met him. Our horses were stalled like across the aisle at Guyman's Pro Rodeo this year, and I followed him on Instagram for years, and I just love his story of like hard work and faith and not giving up. And so I just could I had to go introduce myself, which felt really silly because I'm like I also
Yes.
rodeo and I'm like fangirling over him, but I doesn't care. Like I went over,
Yep.
introduced myself, talked to him. He has the fastest hands I've ever seen in my entire life. It's just like they're like a blur. And so I always cheer for him, but I don't know that I have one specifically I'm cheering for in the tie down. I really like Haven Medjed. He and his wife are nice people. So Shelby Beaujolais Medjid. And
Yep.
so anyway, I don't know that I have like a pulling for a favorite this year. I just like I rodeo. I'm a competitor. I'm an
Yep.
athlete in the sport, and so I just kind of like,
You're rooting for everybody.
yeah, I just being part of it and watching it, it makes me pretty happy. So
Yeah, 100%. And I am a huge, I am so cheering for Latricia Duke and Vanilla Wafer
okay,
because
oh, what
he
fun!
is gorgeous.
This is her first time, right? That's the
Yes.
stallion, and it's her first. Isn't that her? She rides a stallion, and it's her first
Yep.
year. I think that's what I
DM
thought.
High Roller. Yeah.
Yeah.
He is just,
So,
he's stunning. Like he's
hmm
my man candy. Like he's just gorgeous. Love him.
Donna Donna K. Rule gives me hope. Like I'm 38. I'm gonna be
Yep.
39 in just like 4 or 5 months, and I rope against like high schoolers who are
Yep.
kicking butt and college girls. And when I was in college, the opportunities for breakaway roping were not here. And I'm sure that
Yep.
the people who are in their 60s and 70s didn't have the opportunities to breakaway rope when 20 years ago, like when I was in high school and these junior roping, like these big junior ropings were just kind of starting to happen when I was in middle and high school. And they
Yep.
didn't have those when, Betty Gale Cooper and all them were roping and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
um, but Donna Kay can do it. I can do
Donna
it.
Kay is amazing.
Yeah.
She really is.
Larry D, I think is close to 50. And so she's out here running with the girls. And so that gives me hope that like age is just a number and you got to
Yep.
take care of yourself and practice and work out and stay strong. But like, I can do it. So
You can. You got this.
thanks. Like, I
Go
appreciate it.
for it. If you make it to the NFR, I will have to make a trip out to watch you.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. My goal is not honestly I would love to make the NFR. You have to be gone from your
Oh,
family
100%.
much. And I have a daughter in second grade, and the other one is I mean, she's not even in preschool yet. And
Yeah.
the time for me to try to make the NFR would have been before I had kids, and that wasn't an
Or
option
in
before I had
15
kids.
years when they're both out of school, then you
And
go make
maybe
it.
and maybe then so, I don't know. There's 15 years is a long time. I have to have
It
elbow
is.
surgery already. So I never say never, but honestly, I would love that. But I really want to make the circuit finals. That was my goal
Mhm.
this year is to make the circuit final, and it didn't happen. My horse was hurt for 8 weeks, and I just said I have to have elbow surgery. So things obviously did not align great for me this
Yep.
year. But that's my goal is to make the circuit finals, and I want to have fun and be the very, very best that I can, and make circuit finals. And those are my big goals. And if I never
Good.
make it far, I will not feel like a failure because I get to do what I love. And a bad day in the roping pen is better than a day of not roping at all. So,
100%. And I feel that way as I barrel race in New York. And I haven't been rodeoing much lately because my gelding is not a fan of a lot of stuff. And coincidentally, he really, really, which he's a barrel horse, not a rope horse. Thank God, because he would die of a heart attack because he does not like the sound that the ropes make.
oh, zip zip.
He he cannot handle it. He cannot. I brought him to a couple rodeos to see like if we were gonna just be able to start running in some local rodeos, and he can't handle it. And I'm like, this is not
Well,
something
the way to get him used to it is to make him do it and make him
he
suffer through it.
he is not he is not the type of horse that you are going to change his mind.
Okay.
He is a very he is his name is Murphy, and he is just one of the most particular, and I love him to death. He has quirks, and I have come to the conclusion of trying to change him for years and years, being stressed that I've been trying to change him for years and years. You're not changing him. He is who he is.
Yes,
I've
anyway.
figured out how to get along with him and like what works for him. And that's the last 2 years I've really stepped back from like just trying to go, go, go. I've stepped back and I've been like, what works for him? What is he happy doing? Because no matter how many times I put him in these uncomfortable events, he almost gets worse because he then anticipates it. Like he just does not.
Yeah.
And it's not worth him panicking. So
Yeah.
he likes quieter events, and that's fine. Like
Yeah.
we're
Like
gonna
a
let him
barrel
excel
crash or
at
something
those
like that.
instead of get me hurt trying to force him to do something he's not meant to do.
Yeah.
So, but I have a colt that's coming up. He's 3, and I'm hoping that he'll be hopefully he's nowhere near as like spooky and watchy as my
Yeah.
older guy is. So I'm hoping that I have a friend that's going to bring him to some rodeos and just do grand entry on him this year to
Oh,
get
that's
him just
helpful.
out. So I'm like, perfect. Take him away, like make him sane and sound and happy
Yeah,
at a
we need
rodeo,
that.
and life will be good.
That
So
hauling is so good for them, even if they're not competing, just to like
100%.
see everything. My horse, my good horse, or my like A team, I guess, he was hurt for 8 weeks. And so I didn't rodeo much, but like the 4th of July, there's a couple 4th of July's like close to us rodeos, and I wanted to go. And so I took a horse that is like being seasoned.
Hmm.
And I mean, they're like fireworks rodeos, and she had never seen those. And she did okay. Like she kind of like kept circling around me and watching it, but she didn't like run off, dragging me behind.
Yeah,
So I was, yeah, like they need to see that they don't become a rodeo horse if they don't go to rodeos and see this.
correct.
So, yeah.
And it did make me feel confident though, which I Murphy, like I've just accepted the fact that we're not going to be a rodeo team, Murph and I. We're going to be happy just being a jackpot horse, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But it did. I listened to an interview with Haley Kinsel, and I'm trying to think of what podcast it was on. But I guess Sister is like extremely spooky and watchy.
Really?
Yes, like she'll spook at the same banner every single time. And Haley was like talking about how she deals with that. And I was like, maybe there is hope for Murph and I. And I was like, yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm also not Haley Kinsel, and Murphy's also not Sister. So we're just going to let that go.
Well, I had a barrel horse that was like watchy at everything. Like, and she got used to going to rodeos,
Yeah.
but like she still was watchy, but it's like hard to, she knew what the things were because they
Mhm.
weren't like new to her, but she still was like, I know that's the barrel, like the clown's barrel. I know what that is, but I don't, something might still come out of it. Right. Like,
Correct. You never know.
and so, and that was fine. It was better than her, like, not if she just wouldn't walk by it. Like, but
Yeah.
yeah, finally she would walk by it, but she would watch it. So, like, you get, it was good. I mean, every horse you ride that has something like that, like, makes you a better rider. And so I look at it
Oh,
like me
100%.
because, um, yeah. So maybe by the
I
time I'm 60, I will be a phenomenal rider.
will just keep working at it. That's the best
Yeah,
we can do.
yeah, for sure.
And God knows I would go absolutely insane if I didn't get to ride my horses. So,
Yeah, same. I have not. My husband has actually rode more in the last month than I have, and he has a broken leg, by the way, because he rode the day he broke his leg,
oh
and
no.
so oh, actually, I guess I rode my daughter's junior rodeo horse like a week later, so we're even for a month. But I really, because I had to delay my elbow surgery, he broke his leg on Saturday. Sunday he had emergency surgery, and Monday I was supposed to have elbow surgery. Well,
Oh,
I delayed mine because somebody has to be able to take care of our children and drive and also
yes.
like feed cattle and stuff. And
That
so,
thing, that like ranch thing, someone's got to be able to do it.
yeah, somebody's got to do it. So I delayed mine and was like, okay, well, it's all right. I'll make the best of this and I'll just ride and I'll get my barrel horse. Like I'll keep bringing her along because she's finished in the breakaway roping, but like I'm need to get her finished in the barrel racing. And so I was like, I'll get to haul her. I have not got to haul her. Haven't got to ride her. And so today she is, ideally, if everything goes right, I'm gonna get her rode and we're gonna do a barrel race on Wednesday because
Good.
my daughter got a new rodeo pony, and so we need to make a practice run on him before we go to the junior rodeo this weekend. And so it's nice today. It's gonna be like 51 today, but it is not gonna be nice on Wednesday. I don't think it'll be nice tomorrow either. So I need to ride today.
You're gonna do
I'm
it.
gonna go to the
We have
barrel
faith
race.
in
I
you.
have to ride today. If I don't ride today, I'm not gonna enter. I'll still take her. So
Yeah. We have faith
anyway,
in you.
yeah, thank you. So
So how this is coming up twice now. How did your husband break his leg?
he was gathering cattle. We were getting ready to start. It was the first day of like breeding season. We were gathering cattle he was gathering cattle to run them in to, start the AI protocols and things like that. And it was slick, I guess. I
Yeah.
was outside. I was when we do big things like that, it's either we get a sitter and we pay someone to have our kids because our working facilities are too tight to like have our kids there shoot side. Like it wouldn't be safe for them
Yeah.
there. And they're not old enough just to be like the 8-year-old
Yeah.
is, but the 3-year-old cannot just be unsupervised for hours at a time.
Or supervised by an 8-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. So we're not
Yep,
there.
I get that.
And so I was inside like doing the breakfast stuff with them, and the horse slipped and fell on his leg and broke it in 3
Oh,
places. So
ouch.
so we did not, and they didn't even get started with the AI stuff. So our plan B this year is we're bull breeding everything. And thankfully we have enough bulls, but so we're bull breeding everything and then doing a few embryos. So breeding season kicked off great.
And it makes it less labor intensive for you, I guess, at this point.
I don't know. I have been busting it for 2 weeks to get I mean,
I'm
like,
not saying that you're not going to be busy, but like,
yeah, we had to sort, it's a different kind of busy. We had to, so our cattle were not sorted into breeding groups because we're going to AI
so it
everything
didn't
gets
matter.
AI'd and then gets exposed to a bull after that, on the next heat cycle. So we had to sort everything, the pairs, and then sort the calves from the pairs, and then divide into pasture groups, and then haul the bulls, and so that took 3 days to do that, to get like everybody where they needed to go at all the different locations. And then we did decide to do a few embryos, recips, and so last week, so like on Friday, and then this past Sunday, just no. Was that Sunday?
What day is it?
Today was Sunday. I don't know
Yeah, Sunday was yesterday.
when it was. It wasn't Sunday. I don't know.
One of those days.
Put feeders in and then pulled seed. Oh, I put cedars in on a Sunday, and then the following Friday, 3 days ago, I pulled them and gave 2 shots of lute 8 hours apart to start the protocol. And then a week from today, we put embryos in. And so I think everything is done, all the prep. I don't put embryos in. The vet comes to do that. And so this week, I think, is a very light cattle work week, outside of like just the regular feeding, checking, that kind of thing. So I'm really looking forward to this week to relaxing a little bit. I purposely don't plan a lot of like projects and partnerships and things like that in December, so I can spend time with my kids, which is really good that I didn't, because I would not have had time to do it, because I have been outside on my feet for 12-hour days, which I'm not used to, doing all the cattle. And we have a hired hand and he is great, but like a lot of the stuff in breeding season is more than one person job. So like, I've been, doing my husband's part for that. And so this week there's like none of that kind of stuff. I can just be in my office for middle of the day. I'm finally going to keep we still have daycare for the toddler, because I usually send her 2 or 3 days a week, and the other 2 or 3 days she stays home with me. So I'm actually going to I haven't kept her home since he broke his leg. So I get to have a few days home now with her. And so it's just the weight on my shoulders is gone now for a while, and it feels good. So.
Good. And you'll get your horse rode, and you'll get to go to a barrel race, and life is going to be good.
Yes. So.
Awesome. So how many cows total are you guys running?
I honestly don't know. Too many.
Too many.
Now that they are getting fed hay, we rotational graze. And in the fall, we also, if we had good amount of rain, our goal was really to stockpile a pasture. And so we had a great summer in terms of rain, moisture, and had a lot of grass stockpiled. And so right now the cows are on stockpiled pasture, but that's going to run out, right? Like mid-January, probably at the latest, and then everything will come home. And so mid-January, I would be like, we have way too many cows, because I'll be having to feed hay, so much. But right now, I don't know, between 100 and 150, something like that, females. So it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot for one person to do.
It's enough for you guys. Yes.
Yeah. It's enough for now.
It's enough.
We like to grow, but also I need to keep my sanity, and I need some sleep. I really need some sleep.
Yes, people are always like, are you a morning person? Are you a night person? I was like, I'm gonna need my sleep person. Like, girl needs her sleep.
I'm a night person who unfortunately is forced to get up earlier than a night person really wants. And it doesn't matter if I go to bed at 10, I'm just going to lay there awake until about 11:30. Like, my body just doesn't want to fall asleep until 11 or 11:30. And so it doesn't matter if I go to bed at 10. People tell me that, like, if you're tired, just go to bed earlier. Well,
I
can't.
can, but I'm gonna stare
I
at the
lay
ceiling for a while.
there, and then I'm going to be mad that I laid in bed for an hour and a half and didn't sleep when I could have gotten a lot of things done on my to-do list. I went self-employed because I thought I will work during the day and then I will have my night, because it used to be when I was full time, I was like building all these relationships and these side businesses and things like that and this kind of network. And I was doing that at night. And then I was doing my full-time job during the day. And I thought, okay, now if I don't have the full-time job anymore in the corporate ag, I will do all that work during the day. And then the evenings I won't be working my computer. Well, now during the day, I've just been like, I'm doing, like, I'm making content, or I'm riding my horses, or the chicken coop. Like, I'm outside because that's what I want to do, and then I'm still working on the couch at night. So I don't, if anybody thinks I have it figured out, like, I don't have it figured out. It's still a
Same.
mess, but it's getting a little better I learn something, I learn things, and from year to year or month to month, I'm like implementing changes about better balance. Like, I try to like have 0 appointments 2 days a week, because I know that those are my keep my toddler home, and those are Quincy days. And
Yep.
so I'm getting better about it, and so but I'm still doing the work. Like, I'm still working at night, so I'm not going to bed. I need to be able to work at night, and so going to bed at 10 would not make that, because yeah.
Yeah.
So
I feel you on that. I uh gosh, 9 years ago left like my quote unquote full-time job to just be part-time on the farm and do mom stuff and whatnot.
mhm.
And I'm pretty sure I work harder now than I did when I had a full-time job. And then I think they must have started to get a little bit slower for me. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, I know what I can do. I can homeschool my kids,
Well,
because
your time.
that's what you got to like. Yeah, that's just what I need to do. Like, I all of a sudden have all this time, which I don't have, but I make. I don't know how it works, but yes,
Yeah.
I feel that you feel like you should get less busy, and then all of a sudden you're like, I am still doing the same exact like busyness that I was, just not working that outside full-time job. So
Yeah, I think
I get it.
I know I like work fewer hours in terms of like income generation.
Correct.
Like, I didn't trade 40 hours of a full-time job for 40 hours of all my other independent consulting. I traded 40 hours for maybe 10, but the
Yep.
other 30, I'm still busy, but I'm working for things, for me. Like,
Yes.
my horses, stay like in the winter. Last winter I was like kind of part-time this way. Like, I gone from full-time to part-time, and then the transition from part-time to completely full-time, I'm self-employed. Uh,
Yeah.
but like, my horses have stayed road, and that's been nice. So like, I know sometimes, like, where did all my time go? But then I look and, like, my horses have stayed road. I'm not as stressed at, like, December is really hard on me because there's like no sunshine, and you live in New York, and so I don't know how you do it. You have even less than we do, but I
Yeah.
always circle December 22nd, because I know we get, like, from December 2nd 22nd on, where we get like 4 minutes more daylight. December is just a horrible month in terms of the, like, I love Christmas. It's my favorite holiday. But in terms of like my mental health and the daylight, it's the worst, because there's like, it shouldn't be, because you're supposed to be happy and
Yep.
joyful, but there's no sunlight. And before, when I was working a full-time job, like, I wasn't getting, like, I'd have to make myself go outside for 30 minutes just to like see some sunlight, because by the time work was over and I got my kids
Yeah.
to daycare, like, I got home and it was dark and there was no time to ride or anything like that. And that was like really weighing on me. And now I've noticed the past last year and this year, like, I may not get my horse rode every day, but like, I am outside,
Yeah.
more. And so that has really been that's like not a tangible benefit, but it is still a mental health
Oh,
big
100%.
time.
And
So
just getting that fresh air and that, while it may not be sunshine, that
yeah,
daylight is wonderful.
yeah.
That,
And I
yeah.
I do
Go.
notice on overcast days, though, it still kind of creeps in. Like, I'm not someone in the summer who's like, I need the sun, I want to be outside. I hate summer and I hate the heat. The only reason I want to be outside in the summer is if I'm at a rodeo. And that's it. I do not want to be outside in the summer, in the hot. Like, from like June 1st through September 1st, I just despise and loathe the outside. Um, unless I'm at a rodeo.
Then it's
Uh,
okay.
and then it's okay. Then I'm like, I can tolerate it. Um, but like, I do notice if the sun is not out in December, like today it's overcast and the
Yep.
sun is going to come out like around 3 or 4. Um, so I'm gonna have my daughter's pony saddled so that she can, when she gets off the bus and it's kind of sunshiny, we can ride her pony and I'll be outside with her. But I'm gonna ride my horse today when it's like overcast and gross. But
Yeah.
I do notice the sun, like the actual sunlight is helpful, which I'm science tells us that vitamin D is good for you. Like I'm not surprised by this.
Yeah.
Maybe I
It
am.
is funny how much it affects you though.
Yeah, like if I on days where I haven't gotten any like sunshine at and haven't been outside in December, I notice it. By like 6 p.m. I'm sitting at the table and we're like eating, or 6:30 we're gonna sit down and eat supper, and like I can just feel the walls closing in.
Yep.
It's like catatonic. And my husband notices it too. And it's not like an like a grumpy thing. It's just like a constricted type thing. And so I really noticed it. I didn't have like anxiety was not really a thing for me until I had kids, and it just like bam happened. um I do not remember being affected by the daylight this much before I had kids. It was so weird. So
Yeah. Now that you say that, I feel that also as a mom of young kids. I guess now that you like point that out,
they
I
suck the
definitely
life out of
remember.
you.
Dang those kids. We love them to death, but
I
my
love
God.
them, but they do suck the life out of you.
Yes. So I want to kind of head back and talk about, how you grew up, what kind of experiences you had as a kid.
I've derailed your interview. I'm so
No, you're fine. No, there's no such thing as derailing these interviews. Trust me, you're good.
okay.
I love
Um,
tangent conversations are like the best thing ever. So you're good.
well,
So tell us a little bit about you growing up, what kind of where did you grow up? What kind of things were you involved in, that kind of direction?
yeah, so I grew up in the same county I live in now. I used to live in the southern end of the county, and I live in the northern. So I was in one school district and now I'm in the other school district. So my kids will not go to school where I went to. They'll go to school where my dad went to school and my brother, which is fun, and the rest of my family actually. There's your tangent for you. I grew up on what you would call like a hobby ranch. So like my parents both rodeoed. And so we had a lot of horses and roping cattle, and I was in 4-H and we had 4-H animals. But I wouldn't say that it's a hobby ranch. Like we didn't
Mhm.
contribute to the food supply like on purpose. Like I'm sure the roping cattle ended up in the food supply, but that was not like our goal with them, right? And so I grew up doing that. And I knew that I wanted to work in agriculture and be involved in agriculture when I was growing up. But like when you are in middle school and high school, you don't see a lot of ag jobs if you live in like small town rural America. You see, and if your parents are involved in like that kind of role. So like my dad managed a diversified agriculture corporation that was like trucking and crops and feed yard. And so like I knew of these things, but I didn't want to own a feed yard. So like
Yeah.
and you know about veterinarians and you know about ag teachers. So those were kind of like and you know about like insurance brokers, or like ag insurance companies. And that was like really all you
Yeah.
know. So I knew I wanted to be involved in ag, but I wasn't really sure how. And then I got to college, went to community college first, went to Fort Scott Community College. And I was on the rodeo team there and got my Associates of Science. And then I transferred to Kansas State University, where I dual majored in animal science and ag business. And I changed majors quite a few times. I was a ag ed to begin with, and then I was ag ed, and then I was ag business, and then it was ag econ and animal science. So my degrees are in ag econ and animal science. And once I got to K-State, I kind of like was like, yeah, I think I want to have cattle. Like the guy that I was the boyfriend at the time, he grew up on a diversified crop and livestock like cattle operation. And so at the time I thought, well, that's going to be some part of my life. I knew that rodeo was going to be part of my life. I was not going to head down a path in my life where rodeo wasn't going to be a big part of it. And then that relationship ended, and I met my now husband, and he had the same goals for cattle. I knew I wanted to do cattle, and his family, he grew up in Ohio on a diversified crop and livestock operation. And so that just kind of melded nicely together. I didn't know that I would be self-employed like this. I look back and young Brandi would be like, what the heck happened to you? But so yeah, it's been interesting to get to where I'm at, but knew that I wanted to work in agriculture from a very young age. And um, despite almost every piece of equipment breaking down within the last 3 weeks, when I'm the one trying to like one of the people trying to run it. And despite it being not ideal conditions, I still really love having the cattle, and you know, we make jokes about it, but really do enjoy them. I thought there would be a lot more when we started ranching. I thought there would be a lot more like moving cattle on horseback and like that kind of stuff. Like that's what I want to do. I didn't,
Yellowstone stuff, right?
well, not even Yellowstone stuff, but like I wanted to do that part. I did not want to do the slogging through the mud. And
You want the glamorous part, not the
I
not
wanted
the
the
like
horseback part. That's what I
yes.
wanted. And I didn't real and again, I didn't come from a production cattle background. So some people will be like, you knew what you were getting into. No, I didn't. I did not come from this. I did not grow up doing this. My grandpa cowboyed and worked on ranches in Kansas for a really long time. And I would go with him on spring break and feed cubes with him on, and the ranch that he worked on at the time when I was growing up was spring calving. And so I would go with him a day or two during spring break and help him and sit in the truck and watch him tag calves. And we would go feed cubes, and, you know, we get to go lunch at the cafe and things like that. And I knew that bit of it. But like, I didn't know. And there is, to be fair, a lot more intensive things, particularly around like genetics and breeding season with a purebred operation. It's not necessarily harder. It's just different than a commercial herd. And so, but I didn't know, like, don't tell me that you knew what you were getting into. I didn't. That's like when people tell someone who just had a baby and like the mom is like drowning everything, and they're like, well, you knew what you're getting into having a baby. No, I didn't. Never done it.
Never had one before. Don't know what it's like.
They
you can tell me all you want, but I still don't know.
Yeah, they didn't give me a user manual when I left the hospital with this little squishy peanut. They just were like,
they're like, here,
take care of it. Yeah. And so, yeah, there's a lot that you don't know.
Oh, 100%.
No, you don't know, but still really love the lifestyle, and getting to have our daughters here and them learn about it. Like, oh, like the 8-year-old and even the 3-year-old, like they know what's going on. They have general ideas, and, and they help feed, and particularly the 8-year-old is helping me in the evenings because she needs to get outside and you know, on the weekends and get sunshine too. So she's helping me feed, and I make her stand on the back of the feed truck. Oh, she stands on the back of the feed truck. Y'all don't crucify me for that, but
they'll be all right.
Going down the bunk line, and I'm just like, okay, we need to feed this many pounds, and our feed box doesn't have a scale, but I know that we used to bucket feed, and each bucket of the feed stuff that we're using weighed about 25 pounds. And so I want to feed the equivalent of this. And we timed we're very scientific. It took this much time with the flow rate on the feed box to fill a bucket that weighed this much. So we're going by seconds. And so she has my phone and she pushes start, and I'm like, all right, when it gets to 17 seconds, holler. And she, you know, she stands back there and looks at her phone and then tells me, and I turn it off. And so they're involved. And I want them to come back if they want to come back. I want to caution them, and it's not the time when they're 8 and 3 yet, but I'm going to caution them very strongly that, one, if you want to go back to a ranch, you can come to ours. You don't have to have a partner and go to that partner's ranch, because we have one for you. Come, please don't leave me and go.
Don't leave me. I'm not ready for this.
Please don't move to Idaho or something like that. Stay in Kansas. I think Idaho's beautiful, but please don't move there. It's a long way away. But also, like, I didn't know this. I didn't know how monopolizing of your life having a cattle ranch is. Like, I didn't know because I didn't grow up in it. Yeah. And I don't want them to grow up and resent the ranch because of how much time it takes. And I don't want them to grow up and be surprised that the time that they want for their family or for their personal hobbies is going to be lessened if they're a crucial role on the ranch. And so I want them to be aware of all those things so they don't become part of it and then are like, this is not what I wanted. I don't have any time to go rope or ride or run barrels. I don't have any time to run races, or I don't have time to, I don't know, if they get into dirt bike racing or if they want to be kayaking or hike. Like, I want them to know that it takes a concerted effort to keep your hobbies and make time for your family if you have a ranch. I want them to be well aware of that, and I don't want to scare them of it, but I want them to know that before they get into it, because if you personally, if you don't know that and you get into it, you can be really set up for a lot of disappointment. And I've
Oh,
just,
100%.
that's part of the like another reason of being self-employed is like I don't want to give up rodeo. I love it. There's besides being with my family, there's nothing I would rather do than rodeo. I like the
Yeah.
cow, but if I had to choose rodeo or the ranch, I'm going to choose rodeo. Like that's just the way it works. And so, being full self-employed has enabled me to I keep my horses legged up. I can go to a slack. A lot of times in the pro rodeo world, like the slack might be a Tuesday or a Wednesday and the performances are on the weekend. Well, I don't want to be gone on the weekend when I could do so. My daughter is junior rodeoing now. She's got softball games and things like that. She's in 4-H. And so being able to go to a Tuesday morning slack that's 4 hours away in the summer, like I can take my kids with me and rope and come back and we don't miss any of their stuff. And
Yeah.
the ranch can go on when I'm gone for like small chunks of like that. But like it takes work to prioritize that. And I'm just not somebody who is willing to give up like my passions for, work. And so I love the ranch, I love rodeo, and I want my daughters to know the realities of it before they get into it because you don't know what you don't know. And they'll probably have a better
Yeah.
idea of it. They will definitely have a better idea than I did because I didn't grow up this way and they will have. So they will not be shell shocked like I was. But
Yeah, and they have such a good example with you making that time for yourself because you know that for you to be happy, that's what you need to do. And that's something, and I just need to take a minute to like point this out that our generation in agriculture, whether it be dairy farming, ranching, I love the fact that our generation has now said, yes, I want to be involved in agriculture, but I also need to make sure that I am happy and I am in a mentally good place and I need time for myself and my family because that's a priority.
I agree.
Where if
I
you
think
go back, what, 15, 20 years ago, even, that was not a thing.
yeah,
Like,
I
if you
agree.
did that, you were selfish and you're not putting the time into your farm or ranch that you should be, and you should be ashamed of yourself. And that is one thing that I absolutely love that that's a direction that agriculture is going is, hey, in order to take care of XYZ, you need to take care of yourself and you need to take care of your family. And that's important. And that
Mhm.
needs to also be a priority. And you're allowed to have more than one priority. And that's amazing. So
Yeah,
I love that you
I
brought that up
agree.
because that's a pedestal that I love to stand on.
It is better. It's a lot better now. And I don't know. Like, I'll say it. I'm selfish. Like I don't want to give up everything for cows and land. And I know that like that might get me burned at the stake, but
Nope,
like
not on
I
this podcast. It's
I'm
not. I'm
happy.
selfish
Like
too.
my family's happiness, like we are happier when we are able to go and take time and do things. Like we didn't take a family vacation this year for the first time in about, well, probably in like 5 or 6 years, honestly.
Mm,
And I don't want to take vacations from May to August. That's rodeo season.
yeah.
Makes it hard, like, because then late August through early November is calving season. And then December through February, March is feeding cow season. So I have compromised and we've gone on vacation in like mid-August the past several years, like 3 or 4 years, because there's like a lull there where there's not many to go to,
Yep.
rodeos to go to, when really probably we need to be going in April, but it seems like April sneaks up on us so fast with this
It
with
does.
conferences. Like I speak a lot in conferences and a lot of those happen from January to March. And so like I'm just gone and then it's like, oh gosh, it's April. We need to plan family vacation. But like we're better when you take care of yourself. Like you can't pour in, like I know that this is so cliche, but you can't pour from an empty cup.
I love that. Yep.
Um, and again, I'm just selfish. Like I'm not willing to give everything up for the cows. The cows aren't giving anything up for me. So, and also again, another controversial thing is like the cows are not gonna be cremated with me. Like I want to be happy and have joy from things that bring me happiness. And that is part of having a ranch, but also other things bring me joy. And I'm not willing to give up all these other things that bring me joy for like this one thing, unless the one thing is rodeo. So, but it's really, I'm glad that agriculture, like our generation is moving to a healthy place, I think, in terms of like, there is no balance, but like a better management and prioritization of like this ranch is not, or farm is literally not everything. Like we need to
Correct.
do things for our family, and we need to be there for our kids, and we need to set healthy examples for our children that they don't have to be tied to the barn or the ranch, and that they can't
Yeah,
go and do things that bring them joy. Like, or that if they don't want to come back to the ranch, they don't have to. Like
correct.
I do not want my daughters to feel like they have to come back.
The
Like,
world is still going to go on if they don't return.
yeah, my husband and we started the ranch and we had it for I mean 2 or 3 years. We had cattle for a couple of years before we had kids. Like we didn't have it start a ranch and be like, okay, we need to, or we didn't have kids and then get a ranch and be like, we need to start a ranch for our children for this
Yeah,
legacy. We wanted we wanted to have a ranch. And if our daughters don't want to do it, they don't have to. And I want them to know, like I said, I want them to know they don't have to, but if they want to, they can. There is
yeah,
no, there is zero pressure on our children to come over and to take on our passion project. It's our passion project. It's not theirs. And so I want our children to have a healthy relationship with with agriculture and us. And I don't want anything to jeopardize that. And so, and also you can't, the cows are not going to visit you in the nursing home or whatever.
they're not gonna wipe your butt when you're old and can't
Yeah.
move.
And
Yep.
if you prioritize the farm or ranch over your family for so many years, I mean, I wouldn't blame someone if they decided not to have a relationship. Like you decided
Yeah,
not to put the parent in the nursing home because the parent didn't make time for them. Like I don't want our kids to have that relationship. And so yeah, that was like
agreed.
a lot, but
It's so valid and it's so important for people our age, people younger, even people that are older than us to see that and realize like you only have one life to live.
that's right.
A, you need to be a little bit selfish and you need to be happy because if you live your whole life miserable, why did you live your life? Like,
Yes.
I mean, it's a valid point. Like,
I'll,
okay, if you're not happy with your life, then what are you doing? Like,
yeah.
why are you bothering
Yeah.
to,
Why are you continuing to do things that make you unhappy?
and why do you get out of bed in the morning? Like,
Yeah.
do you want to get out of bed and be miserable all day, every day?
Yeah.
I mean, you can, but I don't want to be around you if that's the case.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah.
I,
You're absolutely, I completely agree with you.
yes, 100%. And I'm happy. Like, this is like one of the best tangents that we could have been on because, like, it's just so important for other people to hear two women in agriculture talking about this openly and realizing that it's okay. And I love how you said earlier, just going to say it, I'm selfish. I'm selfish too. I have things that are non negotiable that I need to do in order to be happy and feel good in my life and go
Yeah.
on with all the other things. Like, if you don't find joy in it, then why are
Why
you
are you
doing
doing it? And some people are perfectly happy having the farm or the ranch, and that is their business and their hobby, and they get lots of enjoyment out of it, and they love
it?
it,
Yep.
and that is great. I
Yeah.
applaud them. That's not me.
Not
I
me either.
I have lots of different interests. I love rodeo, which we've talked about at length, but like I really love running. And once upon a time, I used to run half marathons, and I love that. Um, I obviously love cows. I love hiking and travel, and my husband and I love to travel abroad and see new countries and things like that. Whenever we travel, we like to go somewhere where there's some outdoor things that we can do. We love doing like show stuff for our kids. I like going to my kids' sports. Other things that I like, let's see. I mean, I know that there's other things. I don't know. I can't think of them right now, but I
But
like
rodeo, have I mentioned rodeo?
rodeo. Have I mentioned rodeo? Um, you know, there's other stuff. I love
Definitely.
going to concerts and music, like, and I am known to fly across the country to go to a concert. And I I have things that I pursue outside of the cows. And yeah,
And
I have
that's okay.
hobbies. Yeah, I have other hobbies and I'm not ashamed of those. And I feel fulfilled and yeah. And if that's not what works for someone, that's fine. I'm not judging them.
Yeah, but you need to
Doesn't work.
find what works for you and do the darn things.
Yeah, exactly.
'Cause that's how we roll. That's how we need to roll.
I don't think I'm middle aged yet. I refuse to
Yeah.
believe that middle age will that my 38 is my middle age because that'd be my final age is 76. I'm not real thrilled about that. But we're only here, like you said, we're only here once. And I do not want to look back when I'm 90, be like, man, I'm probably gonna say I wish I'd gone to more rodeos, but that will be like, but like I wish I had gone to that, done that, or I wish
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's gonna get that in their life and be like, man, I wish I had
Wish I'd
spent
worked harder on the
more.
farm.
Like, I wish I'd been outside in the tractor more. I don't know. Maybe there are people like that, but
If that's what works for you, I mean, go for it.
yeah,
But
that's just not me. So
I will never say I wish I spent more time in a tractor because my dirty little dairy farming secret is that your girl can't drive a tractor. And I'm
oh,
okay with that because I conveniently don't know how to drive a tractor. And that means that they can't ask me to drive the tractor.
I know. I was feeding silage. So I was feeding silage yesterday, and I'm like, why did I learn how to do this? I wouldn't have to do any of this with my husband's broken leg if I hadn't learned. So it is what it
Yep.
is.
That's the other thing. Like, I won't get my CDL because if I do that,
Then you have to
then I'm
drive.
gonna be then I'll be in a big truck doing like corn and hay and stuff. And I don't want to do that. I'd
Yeah,
rather take care of the
I'm
kids, bring them food in
I'm
my
not
car.
gonna learn to AI because I guarantee you, if I knew how to AI, we would have AI'd more cows. Like if I understand, like I understand the protocols and things like that. But if
Oh
I knew
yeah.
AI and I was like up to date on our plans and what we were going to be doing, we probably would have AI'd all those cows, and that would not and would have delayed it a few days, but that would have happened. So, it's strategic ignorance of some things, and ignorance is not a bad word. Ignorance just means you don't know something. It doesn't mean you're stupid. So, uh,
Correct.
strategic ignorance of something.
In my defense, I
Never
did take
learning
tractor
AI.
safety. Took tractor safety when I was 16. Got the safety thing. I did learn how to drive a tractor and I passed the tractor safety test and beat all the guys. I just want to point that out. Like I was the
Nice.
only girl that took it,
Nice.
perfected the test. And I'm pretty sure after that day, I literally never drove a tractor again. And I was like, good, I did it. I perfected it. I'm
There you
done. I'm
go.
gonna
I
quit
took
now.
I took hunter's ed and fur harvesters when I was in like middle school, and I have hunted one time. I don't really have, and I don't want to hunt. I don't have anything against hunting. I'm not anti-hunting.
Yeah.
I just don't find that, like, I don't want to spend my time doing that. But I
Yep.
could. I could if I wanted to.
And
I
I'd be darn safe doing it.
I would. I would be safe, and I would identify the droppings of animals as we were
Oh
walking.
gosh, I love it. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. So we've already done pretty much a lot of these, but I love to ask some of my guests some rapid fire questions
Oh,
because
okay. I'll sit
it
up.
brings
Ready.
us on more tangents. Tangents are fun. Um, so I'm trying to find a question that we haven't already answered because a lot of my like go-to questions we've already talked about in just a roundabout way. So, I'm a huge foodie. Are you a sweet or a savory?
Sweet.
Sweet.
Like my sweet tooth is the size of my big toe.
Yes.
Huge.
You and I speak the same language on that one.
Yes.
100%.
I'm already thinking about like we just had my daughter's birthday party over the weekend, and my daughter does not like cake with icing. Which is fine. She likes plain chocolate cake with no.
Oh,
And so I made her a or my husband, I shouldn't say I did it. My husband made it because I was outside feeding the cattle. And so we had a plain chocolate cake, and she likes brownies. So I had plain chocolate cake and brownies at the party. But I was also like, maybe other people might like a real cake, you know? And so I ordered like a regular birthday cake with this icing from the Price Chopper, which is a local grocery chain here. And it's like,
yep, we have those.
oh, okay. It's like whipped icing or
Yep.
like whipped cream. I don't know what it is. It is delicious. And I'm already thinking about that leftover cake. Like, when am I going to have time to eat a piece of that leftover cake?
Ooh, there you go.
So yes, I very big sweet tooth.
So as much as your daughter with no cake with no icing, my husband just doesn't like cake. And I think he's the weirdest person ever because he doesn't like cake.
My husband does not like chocolate. So I'm right there
Oh,
with, I think yeah.
what
We
is
have,
wrong with these people?
I don't know.
I'm like, add sugar in it. It's for me. Like, let's go.
Yes. Can I add more sugar to it?
Bring it on. There's not enough frosting on that. Add some more.
Right. I like the corner
Sprinkles.
pieces. Like for your listeners, if you so I've done this on Mother's Day. The Price Chopper cake bakery cakes are so good with the whipped icing. Don't get buttercream. Get like the whipped icing. It's like whipped cream or something like that. It's so good. And for Mother's Day, they had these like smaller ones, like maybe like a 6-inch one. And
Personal sized.
yeah, personal size. And I thought, I really want that. So I just bought myself a Mother's Day cake and I ate it like over 6 nights. Like I divided up one serving. But for your followers, you guys have got to do yourselves a favor and go get one of these Price Chopper cakes because they are so good.
See,
Unless you don't
I'd
like
get crucified in my house for that
oh,
because well, we have a catering business and we do baked stuff.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, we just do homemade, but I get you. I've had them before at other places, but I am partial to ours, but it's fine.
I understand. Well, if you live
We're
closer,
not close enough to
I
you to
would
be
love
able to give you good cakes. So
I would love to have one of your cakes if we lived closer.
I don't think it would mail to Kansas very good.
No,
So,
I don't think so. No, definitely not during December when the mail is not great.
yes. So you said earlier that you travel, like you would go as far as to traveling to concerts.
Oh
So
yeah, I have. Yes, yes.
what concerts are we traveling to?
I love classic rock.
Okay.
I love pretty much I'm a big fan of just I'm a big fan of music. That sounds so dumb, but like I
Yeah.
feel music. Like I feel like some people like music. I like feel music,
Mhm.
emotions and stuff like that. And so let's see. I love classic rock. So I've flown to see Elton John. I traveled
Okay.
to a different state twice to see Elton John. Travel like let's see. I've seen Billy Joel in Madison Square Garden. I've seen Billy
There
Joel.
you go.
I don't think there's anybody I've seen Eli Young Band more than Billy Joel, but other than that, there's nobody I've seen more than Billy Joel. But then classic, like yes, classic rock stuff. Billy Joel, Styx, Elton John, Bob Seger. I saw the Eagles before Glenn Fry passed away, which was amazing.
Okay.
Boston is another favorite. Who else? Joe Walsh. I love classic rock. So
They say, have you gone to Vegas to see the Eagles in the Sphere?
I have not because
They say,
I saw the Eagle. I want to go to the Sphere. I saw the Eagles before Glenn Fry passed away.
so now you don't want to ruin it.
I don't want to. And Vince Gill I've heard is fantastic with them. And
Oh.
Vince
Gill is playing with them?
So it's Vince
Oh, I
Gill and
missed
Glenn
that.
Fry's son now is joined. And I'm sure it's amazing. But like I saw them when they were the Eagles. And so
Yeah.
I don't think I want to see them again.
Don't want to ruin it.
Yeah. But
I
I'm
get
not
you.
opposed to seeing someone in the Sphere. Like I've heard and seen like pictures on Instagram that it is fabulous. But
I have a feeling that I would like hurl everywhere because I get very motion sick.
oh yeah. That could be a possibility.
Yeah. So I'll cheer you on. You go to the Sphere, watch somebody cool, and then like fill me in. I have a feeling I would not make it out alive.
I might eventually have to go to the NFR again. I haven't been since 2015.
I have not been since oh gosh.
2005, not 2015. I went 2005 and I wasn't old enough to drink yet. And so I haven't been to Vegas since I have been old enough to drink. So I'd like to go back.
Well, then we should go next year.
Yes. Well, yes, I would like to. I also want to rope when I go. It's going to take some finagling because I refuse to miss my daughter's birthday. And it's always right there in the middle of that.
Hey, honey, do you want to take the week off of school and come to Vegas with me for your birthday? It'll be great.
Fair. That is a good idea. So
that's a grand spot to have a birthday.
That is. So yeah, I'd like to go back and then maybe find a concert that's happening at the Sphere at the same time.
There you go. Let's see. Are you naturally an introvert or an extrovert?
Introvert. I'll have to turn this, like my switch is on right now, but it will be off later.
And then there will be peace and quiet. I will be riding my horse.
I'm really enjoying this. I'm having a good time, but
you're good. I get it.
Like as a nature, I'm a public speaker, so like I have to turn it on and but like when I am going to when I go to the NCBA trade show and the cattle industry convention that's in San Antonio this year, and I'm getting there, I'm leaving on Sunday and I won't be home until Friday. And when I get home, I will have to make myself be tolerant. I love my kids and my husband, but I'm going to have to not shut them out. Because what I will want to do is just get down underneath the blanket on the couch and be left alone and not talk to anyone. Because I will be peopled out. I will be peopled out by like day 2.
I am, yeah, I'm like halfway between, like I can be very on, but then there's sometimes where I'm just like overstimulated, like please leave me alone. I'm good. I just
Yeah.
want to sit in the background and do nothing.
I'm one of those people, like if you threaten to cancel plans on me, like that's not a threat.
Oh darn, okay.
Oh man, I don't have to put on real pants now and I can stay at home and I don't have to like be anxious about if I'm going to know anybody there, if I'm going to arrive at the right time, who am I going to talk to the whole time? Am I going to run out of things to talk about? You mean I can avoid all that? Oh man, that
Yeah.
stinks.
Oh snap, what a
Yeah.
shame.
Darn it.
Oh, I love it. That's amazing. So let's see. Favorite TV show besides the NFR, of course, or a football game.
The Office.
The Office.
Mhm.
All right.
I think
That's
I've
one
seen
of those ones you can just watch over and over and over again.
Yes, it's a great background also when you're working, but also I think I've seen it all the way through like 10 or 11 times. When we lived in Australia, we didn't really have cable.
You skipped right over that part, by the way.
Well, I mean, it's not like a core part, and it's been like a long time. We lived in Australia in 2011. We moved 2 weeks after we got married. My husband was a Fulbright scholar. And so a Fulbright scholar, you go to a country where they're studying what you want to study and they speak your language. You have to speak the language of the country. Well, he speaks English. So that really narrows down pig speaking or pig projects in English speaking countries. So that, that narrowed it down where we went to Australia, England, like those are a few of the options.
Yeah.
And the the research that he wanted to do, what the person kind of doing a lot of it was in Australia. And so we went there and we lived there from early February of 2011 through mid-December. So almost 11 months we lived there. And we lived on campus at a university, the University of Melbourne, and we were like RAs. We had like an RA dorm, but we didn't
Yep.
have to do any of the RA duties. I tutored
Oh,
students. And so that's what got us. I tutored some classes and was a teaching assistant, like graded papers and stuff for a couple classes. And that got us access to this like little studio flat there. And so we lived on campus and but we didn't have like we had like their version of like a cable antenna. You know, we didn't have like a bunch of channels. But we loved The Office. And so we had taken a few select DVDs and I had taken all of the seasons of The Office that we had with us. And so we would watch them and we get to the end of it. And this was before the show ended.
okay.
And started again. And so I've watched it a lot. I wrote my thesis to it as the background because I wrote my thesis when I was there I guess I left that out. I have a master's degree in animal science. And I wrote my thesis in Australia with like The Office playing in the background. So
Awesome. It's the little things that matter in life, right?
there's all these like office games, like trivia games and things like that. I'm your worst enemy. And like, you do not want to be matched against me in a game of the office trivia because you're going to lose. So
That would be me and Friends. I'm a Friends fanatic.
I want to watch, I like Friends. I can't say I'm a fanatic because I don't think I haven't seen it all the way through all of them. When Netflix was getting rid of it, I tried and I got through a couple seasons and now it's on Peacock. And so when we get to the summer and like my sports shows aren't talking about, I love football. I'm a huge football fan. And so my favorite sports show is called First Things First. And so that's my husband and I's watch at night during football season together. But you get to like March, they stop coverage for a while. And then like June and July, there is like nothing. Like basically May through August of this show, there's like 3.5 months of not much at all. They're just talking about the NBA, and I don't really get into the NBA. And so that is when we catch up on series that we like. And so that's like, okay, I'm going to get caught up on Clarkson's Farm. Okay, we're going to get caught up on, I'm going to watch Friends all the way through. I'm going to watch the new season of Yellowstone. Like I know there's a new season of Yellowstone right happening now, and we won't watch it until after the Super Bowl. So yeah, the summertime is when I got caught up on things, and I have Friends on there. Like I want to finish Friends. So
yes, that's one of those, just like with you with The Office, that's one of my like, if I just need to get stuff done, I put it on. It's in the background. I know it. I don't have to look up to watch it because I already know. It's already in my head. Like I can just replay the whole thing. So it's there.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, well, I guess let's go to travel because that's always one of my favorite things to
Oh,
pick
okay.
about. Favorite place you've ever visited?
Oh,
Like
you're
10
gonna
out of
be
10 would
ripping
just
onto a
keep going back.
country or a continent or something like that because I can't pick one. You're gonna have to tell me like
Oh
US
gosh,
or abroad. Like I can't pick
abroad.
Germany. I love Germany. My husband and I are both from German descent. Um, I love the culture. The food is good. There's so much history. Um,
Yes.
I love Germany. I could go to Germany every single year for vacation and never get tired of it. I could go do the same things in Germany every year and not get tired of it. Honorable
I
mention,
do love Germany.
honorable mention, Italy. I've been to Rome. Italy was great. And also Austria was really, I'd like to go back to Austria and do some more there. I haven't done much there, but definitely Germany is first place abroad.
I spent 1.5 days in Austria and we went to the Spanish School of Riding, and that was,
Oh, it's so cool, isn't it?
oh my
Oh my.
gosh, it's beautiful. I was like, I've dreamed of this since I was like 5, like
Yes,
seeing the
it's so
Lipizaners,
good.
like, look at them.
We were also there like a day and a half in Vienna. And so we did that and a Christmas market. So in 2015, my husband finished his PhD and like his big celebratory thing he wanted to do was go backpack in Europe. So I left the day after Thanksgiving and we went to Australia to a good friend's wedding and we were there for a few days, maybe 4 or 5 days there. And then we flew from there to Europe and backpacked for like 5 weeks. And we started in
Oh my
Rome
gosh.
and then went to Venice and then to Austria and then a stop in Oswiecim, which is where Auschwitz is. Went through Auschwitz, and then Germany to visit family, France, England, and Ireland. We spent Christmas in England, Christmas in London, and
Oh man.
we're only in Austria for a day and a half, and so we got there like in the evening or got there early in the morning for breakfast. Went to this little cafe that was in our book that said it would be great, and it really was. And then we did the museum of they had like a museum of munitions or defense or like weaponry or something like that. It had like a bunch of tanks and things and
Yep.
hit did that, saw the writing like demonstrate, the big program. I can't remember the Lip is honor. Is that how you say it?
Yep.
Yeah. Saw the Lip is honors, Christmas market, and then like left the next early evening. So love it. That I want to spend more time in Austria because we just got like a small taste of it.
Yeah, I honestly could not even tell you what. I was on like a guided tour with alumni from the college that I went to. And I honestly could not even without going back and looking, could not tell you what we did in Austria. Besides, we went to the Spanish School of Riding, we saw the Lipizzaners, and we actually got a tour of the stables.
Oh, so cool. That's so cool.
So I love them. They're just such beautiful horses.
It was
And
awesome. Yeah, I
yeah,
didn't get the tour. I just saw the show. That's awesome.
yeah, it was really, really cool. So my other follow-up question to that, what is your bucket list place to go?
Where have I not been that I want to go? I'm trying to think of like other countries in the world.
That's a fulfilled traveler right there. I love it.
Yeah, we've been all
That's
over.
amazing.
I mean, all over there in England, or in Europe. Also been to Scotland, lived in Australia, have
Yep.
been to Belize, um, scuba dived in the Great Blue Hole. I've been to Mexico. It was like one day on a cruise, like you get off and then you get
Yep.
back. Where did I just go? Went to Puerto Rico, which is not a foreign country, but went to Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
spoke at the American Farm Bureau National Conference or Federation's annual convention, and then on that same week went to a friend's wedding in Dominican Republic. So been to Dominican, Belize, Mexico, been to Canada, US, a lot of
Anything in South America you want to see?
no, too hot. Um,
That's right. You're anti-heat.
don't be heat. I think southern Argentina is not hot. And so I'll
Okay.
be okay with that. And my husband wants to go to Argentina. So maybe southern Argentina. I'm trying to think. I've been to South Africa and that was really cool. In Australia. Haven't been to New Zealand. I would say if I have to choose somewhere that I want to go but haven't been yet, I would say New Zealand.
There you go.
So
Might as well go to the other side of the world, right?
I've been to the airport in New Zealand multiple times because I refuse to take like the direct flight from LA to Melbourne is about 17 or 18 hours. I'm
Oh,
not so we take a 14-hour flight to Auckland and have a layover and then go from Auckland to Melbourne. So
shorten that flight by a couple hours. Let's take a layover.
Yeah, haven't been out of the airport in Auckland, so.
Oh, that's great. And I love to actually, so this idea came from Lindsay Branquino's podcast.
Oh.
And I know you recognize that name.
Yes,
so in her podcast, she always asks a deeper thought question that was left by a previous guest. So that's where this idea came from. So this is your question, and I'm going to quick kind of scooch through because I like to find something that I think that you'll have a really great answer to.
I'm terrified.
Oh,
I'm so terrified what you're saying.
Oh, don't be terrified. How do you plan to put agriculture in a better place for the next generation?
By showing, it's kind of what we talked about, by like showing that you can be happy and successful with your family and your hobbies, but also with agriculture. Because if you are happier in your life, you're going to be better off to like pour into agriculture. If you're so dog tired from agriculture and down and in misery or whatever because of markets or circumstances and things like that, like, again, how do you pour from an empty cup? So it just kind of centers around that, like not being depressed because of something that's happening on the ranch, and like knowing that there other things in life can help you be fulfilled, and that happiness that you get from those other things can benefit the ranch as well.
Awesome. I kind of asked that just to kind of wrap that up, and I assumed that that's along the lines of where you would have gone, but I figured it would put a nice little bow on what we talked about, and I love it. Yeah. So put a little bow on it. And what is that one quote that drives you to be the best person you can be and inspires you every day?
Is this video, like, are you going to post the video to this? People will see
I may.
Okay.
The video will be on YouTube, yeah.
Okay, so this is my
You can
quote.
show it off.
This is my life's motto. Luck looks like hard work. Right? Everybody's like, oh, she's so, not she, or she's, oh, it's Dusty. She's so lucky. You see like all these things happen to her, or it happens in life, and it also happens in the rodeo arena or whatever competition you're in. Like you see somebody, like the people are doing it with the Chiefs right now. Oh, the Chiefs are so, no, the Chiefs are working hard. I'm working hard. People in your, like Kelsey Domer just won $140,000 in 10 days. She's not lucky. Like,
she worked her butt off.
Yeah, luck looks like hard work because you're working your butt off. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. So if an opportunity lands in your lap and you're not prepared for it, you don't know how to handle it, you don't know how to behave, you don't know how to practice. Like, if you haven't done any of that, opportunity vanishes and disappears. But if you are prepared for situations or events or competitions or situations, and then opportunity comes, that's going to look like luck, but it's not. It's hard work.
I love it. That's an excellent.
One of my very, very good friends, Kelly Stanzi, is an artist, like graphic design artist and things like that. And she has a shop, and she hand painted that with watercolors for me, that sign that says luck.
Oh, very cool. I love it. Awesome. So, and I guess we didn't even really touch on your social media presence. So
it's okay. Like, I'm more than social media, so it's okay.
No, I know, but that's good. And that's, probably if people have seen you, heard of you, that's probably what they know. So it's nice to see the Brandi besides the one that you just see on social media all the time. But for those that are looking to connect with you or follow along on your journey, where can they find you?
You can find me at my Brandi Buzzard on Instagram. My Facebook is Buzzard's Beat by Brandi Buzzard. My blog is buzzardsbeat.com. And then you can find my show on Acres TV, which I would appreciate if everyone went and subscribed to Acres TV. It is like Netflix, but for agriculture, and it's free. So think of all the free content. It's entertainment in agriculture, farming, ranching, crops, just all sorts of agriculture content for free all the time. And I have a channel there called Buzzard's Beat by Brandi Buzzard. And that's where we have like behind the scenes ranch life and what we do. And then I provide my little commentary about like the issue of the week there as well. So I would love it if everyone would join me in those places. Facebook, Instagram, Acres.
Awesome. And I will link those in the show notes for those of you that are interested in following along with Brandi. And I do just want to take a quick second to point out, I was lucky enough to see you speak at the Dairy Girl Network conference back in November. And you are just such an inspiration to women in agriculture and just women everywheres, and how they can do big things. They can stand up for what they believe in, and, you can make your voice be heard You just have to keep working at it. And I just wanted to take a quick second and let you know that, because you are definitely an inspiration, and you're out there crushing it, and that's wonderful.
Oh, well,
So
thank you. I
you're
don't,
very
I
welcome.
definitely don't feel like I'm crushing it, but I really appreciate that. Like I said
You are.
before,
You're doing a great job.
thank you.
So awesome. Well, thank you so much, Brandy, for joining us. And I think we had a lot to say, so you're probably going to have to just be a repeat guest on the podcast, because
That
I
would
mean,
be great. I would love to
you
talk with you more. I've enjoyed every second of this.
well, thank you. I appreciate that. And if you guys loved this episode too, please be sure to share with a friend and leave us a review. Subscribe so that you don't miss out on the weekly episodes. Thank you so much, everyone, and we will talk to you next week. Hey, Dairy Hour listeners, if you're enjoying this show, leaving a review is the best way to help us grow and reach more people. Plus, I've got a little thank you for you. Snap a screenshot of your review, message it to me at Dairy Gal Val, and I will be sure to send some fun Dairy Hour stickers your way. Thanks for supporting the podcast, and I cannot wait to mail you some swag.